Alright, it's time to stop.
I don't think that piece is important.
It's time to start Gratcast. Stop playing with your little gun.
Little?
Where'd you get a real gun from anyway?
It's not real. It's a Hollywood gun. Has blanks in it.
It sure looks real.
No, check it out.
Yeah, feels real.
It's already cocked.
Looks like real bullets.
Careful, the safety's off. It's blanks.
All
See,
right.
it's blanks. Shit.
Welcome to Gratcast, episode 19. Happy potential Father's Day to any dads out there. We've had a pretty interesting week, Will. We've had some visitors, some fights, some ruckuses, things going on this week.
It's never a dull day in California.
One of the visitors we had this week was Ken Constantino, from the director from the movie Crimson, another film that was filming while we were in Buffalo. And he came out to LA for graduation, knew somebody at UCLA or whatever, and hung out a couple days, visited. We took him for a little trip to the lot.
Warner Brothers got to hang upside down and pretend he was Tobey Maguire. Well, he didn't. His buddy got to hang upside down in the alley that Tobey Maguire hung upside down in.
I'm sure you'll be looking at the pictures right now. He reenacted the Spider-Man kiss.
That was pretty cool.
Unfortunately, Ken chickened out on giving him the Mary Jane kiss at the last second.
Yeah, I thought that's what the whole thing was for. That I was going to kiss him, but
Make your buddy climb up the rusty rungs of the ladder, hang upside down, and then you don't even kiss him.
and he dropped his fancy sunglasses on the asphalt too.
Yeah, sacrifices for being Spider-Man.
It's not good. It's not good. We also got blood wrestling online.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff that came up this week, Will. We got the blood wrestling from Grat Fest 1 that's finally online. I think we have our first viral sensation on our hands.
With the blood wrestling?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like 150 views or something.
Yeah,
like that,
dude, it's climbing through the roof.
It's
So-
doing really good.
I guess that means if we put quality stuff out there, people actually watch it. So,
Yep.
So the stuff without hits just means it sucks.
Pretty much. You got girls with blood and bikinis. People are watching.
One of the other things we put up this week that I really like, and some of the people have commented and said it's funny, but it's not doing quite as well as the blood wrestling, is our first little Optimus advertising video.
The damn bitches.
Yes, those damn bitches.
Oh, I think it's pretty good. I think it's a perfect platform to portray their adventures with.
To tell the story of Marcy and Ashely?
Marcy and Ashely, yeah, and Fredo. Don't forget Fredo.
Oh, yes.
Fredo's a character.
Fredo will be making a guest appearance in our next episode.
So keep your ears open to Gratcast for new characters to be showing up in this new Optimus advertising video line that we're doing.
I think I'm going to call an audible down the road on our GFY of the week that I overlooked somebody. So
You did.
Be prepared to roll with the punches when we get to that section.
It's a big section.
I'm sure we're going to be putting up the screenshot or maybe even the full video on the edit of this, of the little Optimus advertising Optimus advertising video. It's only 3 minutes long, so it's real short. The other thing we had start this week, Will, is the first episode of the Cast.
Yeah, we were the first guests.
Yes.
We were the first guests, done right here in Tonga Studios, as a matter of fact. Recorded here. Yeah, Joe Todaro came in, and he's our buddy, stand-up comedian. He came in and did his first Gratwick production called Cast.
Yes, it is.
Called Cast, where he's going to talk about comedy, I'm assuming, or whatever.
He's stand-up comedy, Hollywood. He talks on everything, so he's always got an opinion about something, so he'll never run out of material.
What was the name of the venue? Was that Tuesday?
The Laugh Factory, I believe it was.
He was at the Laugh Factory here and on the Sunset Strip on Tuesday night.
I'd like to thank the collection agencies for always having impeccable timing and stopping our second camera feed.
They probably don't watch Gratcast.
You'd think they would. They're hunting us down so bad. And speaking of hunting us down, Will,
They're not doing a very good job.
I did the lifelong tradition in Hollywood of Googling yourself that I do at least once a week, and discovered apparently there's naked pictures of me on a celebrity male site.
I put them up.
Did you, Will?
I did.
Son of a bitch. I told you those were private.
You didn't know the ones that I took, though.
Oh, even better. You're stuffing me while I'm sleeping.
I took some special bonus stills.
Oh, as long as we're just talking about disgusting things, Will, why don't we move on to Green Lantern?
Oh boy.
What'd you think?
Sorry, Zappy. Here we go. I feel the same way about it as I felt about the Star Wars prequels. Like, the lightsaber fights, and those are awesome. Like, the outer space stuff and some of the superhero stuff in Green Lantern was awesome, but a lot of the dialogue and the putting it together, completely cookie cutter and poorly done as well. But it has some redeeming qualities. So the green was very pretty.
Was it? So I'm surprised you don't like it, man. With the pretty pictures and all, that's usually a deal maker for you.
I don't hate it. I don't hate the movie, but
it wasn't what you wanted it to be.
It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. X-Men First Class was better. Thor was better. The superhero movies that have come before it this summer have been better.
How was Ryan Reynolds?
He was fine. I know some people want to hate on him about it, but I didn't think he was so bad.
Is there any humor in it? Is it?
Yeah, there's some jokes here and there. Yeah, he's got a couple, little typical Ryan Reynolds sarcastic little jokes here and there.
Little hints of Van Wilder.
Yeah. There's some jokes. There's some funnies in it, but not a lot.
Now, did you see the Green Hornet?
I didn't even
bother.
No.
That green wasn't enough for you?
Did you go watch it?
No, I didn't watch it, but I was curious to see what the comparison was.
That looks so terrible just from the trailers.
We've got fan opinions that say that Ebert says the Green Lantern was better than Thor.
I can see where
somebody could come to that opinion.
Yeah, I can see that. Because Thor wasn't the greatest movie, but I thought it was a little more well done than Green Lantern. The CGI in Green Lantern is amazing, but it's amazing in Thor too.
I'm gonna have to step up and get caught up on these so I can give my brutal opinions. Will, we started watching Oz yesterday.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
What do you think of Oz?
I didn't realize that J.K. Simmons was an inmate, let alone the leader of the white supremacists.
Oh, dude, he's one of the integral characters over the course of the whole series. He's fantastic.
I always assumed that he was involved in. He worked for the prison.
Oh, like a guard?
Something. Yeah.
No, he's awesome. There's so many great characters in that show, and so many actors that got their starts from that show. And just the storylines and the reflection of society through the prison system is just brilliant. And I love Oz. I've seen Mike forced me to start watching it, because I always avoided it like most people do because of the penises. But once you black out the penises, it's a freaking great show. And I started in season 2, and we watched season 2 through 5, which I think only has 5 seasons.
Okay.
So yesterday, season 1 I haven't seen any of. So how it all began and some of that stuff, I was watching for the first time with you. And we had our Debbie Downer in the room, but other than that, I can't wait to get back to season 1.
I love the way they portray that mafia guy that's running everything, that prisoner. With the butterfly collar and the gold chain and the big hair. That guy's awesome.
You were working on writing something, but the end of the 3rd episode, I think it was, as far as we got, the whole analogy about how God is the ultimate mobster and gangster, it was just great commentary. Just the symbolism and the analogies. You got to at least listen back to that part. It was freaking great.
Yeah, I'll have to watch them again. I'm sure somebody's got them on DVD around here someplace.
Oh yeah.
Somebody's got it. So anybody with the Oz on DVD in Hollywood, let me know.
Netflix will send it to us. I just hate waiting for the damn shit to come in the mail.
I put my Netflix on hold.
I don't know why we have 2 Netflix accounts in one house anyway. Just might as well. We all watch the instant and we send out.
It's only one TV.
Yeah. So this brings us to our Go Fuck Yourself of the week, the GFY, if you will.
Here we go.
The original GFY of the week was going to be for the Omen because I was offended at, once again, the insult to the audience that was portrayed in the original Omen, and apparently I've recently heard in the new Omen. Quickly, because I'd rather get to our other GFY guy, my issue of the whole thing is, at the end, they give this asshole a military funeral. Now, I have no problem with the fact that he deserved a military funeral because I know he was trying to kill Damien, the Satan's child.
Satan, right.
So, God bless you, Mr. French Ambassador. You're doing your best. But in the world that was created in this film, and the scenarios that were put in place by the directors, writers, whoever created this film, they decided to portray this guy in the society he lived in as an attempted child killer, let alone murderer that just finished murdering the nanny, and then takes this little boy to the church and he's about to stab him in the head and kill him, and so much so that the cops have to shoot him to stop it. All they see, guy about to stab kid, shoot him, boom. Okay, so you were a French ambassador that now killed the nanny and was attempting to kill a child, and nobody knows yet that this child's the devil. Why the fuck did you get a military funeral? Why is the president at your funeral to take on the boy? The boy who you almost killed attends your funeral. I mean, something doesn't make sense here, but it's a pretty bow. We need that pretty bow. We can't just have one asshole looking over a disgraced ambassador's funeral. That doesn't give us good imagery. We need to twist the story and hope that you're too stupid to stay in the world of the society we created.
It writes everything up nice for that last scene for the writer of the movie.
Gotta look nice and pretty.
Yeah. Well, I think that it reflects the real world. I think that is reflects society. Like, they try and look the other way probably and still give them a hero's, the same burial. I bet. I bet you they try and do something to the effect of covering it up and still give them one.
This brings us back to my old Bengal friend, fucking Chris Henry. Sooner or later, Will, we're going to have a whole Gratcast episode on Chris Henry.
Oh, yeah?
That will be the portrayal of, once you die, all your sins are forgiven.
Oh.
Even if you die in the act of committing a heinous crime such as attempted murder or domestic abuse. All sins are forgiven.
You're the great guy. Memories are better than facts.
The big GFY of the week is to the person I decided at 4 a.m. the other night to write an open letter basically telling him to go fuck himself, is one Mr. Kevin Smith. You can call me Stan if you want, because I'm a bitter fan that didn't get any responses from the eye of my admiration. So when we do all these interactive stuff and give people opportunities to reach out and interact with us, it's fucking real, because that's what I like, that's what I want, and that's what I bought into with everything that Kevin Smith and View Askew has built and portrayed. Oh, I'm the approachable filmmaker. I'm that guy that you can contact with on Facebook, on Twitter. Dude spends every waking moment on Twitter talking about how he licks his wife's asshole and how you should lick your wife's asshole, but can't bother to respond to fans that are basically going broke trying to follow the roadmap that he set in place to reach what he's done. That have admired him and followed him, he can't be bothered. And before you say, oh, I'm sure he gets from tons and tons of people, I watch his Twitter feed as much as I can. You wouldn't believe some of the stupid shit questions people ask that he finds a way to time and respond. So maybe he hasn't seen mine. Okay, I've sent him a ton. Sooner or later, you think he might have seen one.
You can't recognize your name popping up every.
So we'll forgive Twitter. But let's move on to Jason Mewes. Definitely knows about the movie, because Jason Mewes was cast to be in the movie before he fucked us in the ass and quit at the last minute because his new assistant decided that he's too big for your little movie now because he was in the background of a big Hollywood movie. Well, good for you, Jason Mewes. That's fantastic, because we end up getting a far better actor that actually portrayed the role and is going to make a huge name for himself off the character that was originally designed for you. To give you an opportunity to be more than just the burnout pothead character in a story. I gave you an opportunity to
I would have loved to see Jason Mewes in that role in The Perfect House. I really would have.
So Mewes definitely knows about it, and I've tried to get in touch with Kevin through every opportunity he puts out there to fans.
Oh, you didn't try the $500 2-minute commercial?
Oh, I did. I'll get to that.
You haven't given him $500.
First, and we'll get to why. First, he started this. I understand some of my fans can't pay $60 to come to the Red State screening and Q&A tour. So we're going to do a trade art for art deal where I'll give you free tickets if you give me some of your art or show me some of your art on what you're doing. Okay, if you're going to do something like that, what more value can there be than a filmmaker with no background that just off of sheer motivation from the confidence you gave him from your story went and made another film and made a film of quality and is doing all the things you're doing. And I presented our film, our trailer, our website to Kevin Smith's secret circle of people that make the decision about the art for trade stuff. Apparently our film wasn't even good enough to acknowledge that we submitted for the art for trade stuff.
So you didn't get a response?
Yeah. No, but people that wrote 30-second little jingles that were terrible, oh, free tickets for that guy. So again, no response. Then on their smodcast,
not for you.
Then on their smodcasts and podcasts and all the other fucking things they do, they start an online radio station. They decide to start taking payments for advertising where you could advertise anything under the sun. If you sell bags of poop and you want to pay Kevin Smith $200 to read a 30-second spot about your company selling bags of poop, they'll do it. They gave you the advertising email to submit to and everything. 5 different times I've inquired about either doing an ad for Gratcast or having Jason Mewes read an ad for The Perfect House on one of their shows.
Which is part of the advertising gimmick, right?
Yeah, if you pay $500, Kevin Smith or Jason Mewes will read it live on the air. I would have paid 10 times that to have Jason Mewes read an ad for The Perfect House on Smodcast. Oh, I'm sorry, I want to actually pay you for advertising. No responses to that either. Nothing. So, me as a fan, my impression of Kevin Smith is it's all a fucking image. It's all a facade like everything else in Hollywood. Appear to be as close and connected to your audience as you can be as long as it keeps giving you money. The people that are actually reaching out to you for knowledge and experience, the people that aren't just a crazy dude running around with a camcorder, which I was the first time when I didn't waste Kevin Smith's time, when I was doing what he did and learning myself, I didn't waste his time trying to contact him about first-timers, which was a piece of shit. Now we have something. It was him that I would like to thank to say, you gave me the motivation to do this and then realize I could do it better. That ultimately led to The Perfect House. And you're too good for that. You got too much time that you need to spend on talking about tossing salads and everything else. So go fuck yourself, Kevin. I tried. I did. I took what I could from you. And with your exact words, there will be some cat that comes along smarter and more intelligent than you are that takes what you did and builds off of it and takes it to another level. That's what we're doing. So you had your chance, Kevin. At this point now, go fuck yourself.
I'm sure that this conversation between Kevin and Kris is far from over. Stand by. There's gonna be a lot more, I'm sure. But hey, we're ready to talk Hollywood Corner now.
Yes. I think we're gonna save the anonymous ignorance for next week, Will, because
we're already deep into the show here. I
got a lot of things I want to say about anonymous ignorance, and that's gonna take us to another place.
We're gonna talk about blogs another time.
So let's get into the Hollywood Corner, Will.
You're gonna everybody get your calculator, your slide rule, some notebook paper, and sharpen your number 2 pencils, because here we go, we're running the numbers.
Speaking of slide rules, I've seen the first one I think I might have ever seen yesterday while watching Sliders.
Oh, that's right.
We got into Sliders.
Jonathan Rhys Davies whipped out a slide rule.
Yeah, I got one right here. You never know when you're going to be lost through the cycles of dimensions and need to do some math.
There was a time before electronics, boy, and you had to do it with your head.
So, this week's Hollywood Corner is a special themed corner. It's going to be all about the Facebook numbers and why I think releasing the film on Facebook before making a DVD deal is a no-brainer. To the point that I think if a distribution company was smart, they would get involved with us now, because they're going to get the film at a much less rate than they're going to get come October. One of the first things that's the key to the number is explaining exactly what Flick Launch is and how this is going to all work. Well,
flick launch. What the hell's a flick launch? Is that something you like shoot a booger off your finger that's stuck?
Flick Launch is the Facebook application that is the platform that plays the movies.
Okay.
But the brilliant part about the whole thing is once it's integrated and you install the app, the movie plays off of your Facebook page.
Okay.
So on October 1st, when people want to, where do I go to see the movie? You go right to the Perfect House on Facebook, and there'll be a little Watch Now link, and you watch it there. The best part, they built in so many features. This Flick Launch people did, and they're great, and they're willing to work with us to create more features.
You've actually been talking to them on the phone.
Yeah. One of the features that they have is when you watch the film, it forces you to share the link to the film on your Facebook page. Beforehand,
it does a status update.
Yes, it does the little status update
on Facebook.
And post the link.
I'm watching The Perfect House.
Yes.
And you can watch it by clicking right here. And then at the end of the movie, it does the same thing.
At the end of the movie, it prompts you again to put a status where you can put whatever you thought about the movie. So, Flick Launch figures, the figures that they've given to me are that the average Facebook fan has 100 friends. I don't know anybody that's got 100 friends. Most everybody I know has several hundred, if not more than 1,000 friends.
Yeah.
So, okay, we'll use your conservative numbers of 100 friends. So every time one person watches your film, they're advertising to their 100 friends 200 times.
Corn guy.
Corn guy's going by. Nice. Conservatively, let's just use one advertisement. So we have an even 100 to work with. So every time somebody watches your movie, 100 people have the opportunity to see your status update, your friends. That's the average number of Facebook friends. So now there's what's called a referral rate, where they estimate anywhere between 2 and 5% will watch your film based on the quality, based on production value, based on buzz, based on all those things.
But primarily based on the point that they saw a post on one of their friends, by one of their friends that they watched.
And if that status includes, I really like this movie, the rate of the people watching it will go up even more. So we use, again, the low version of that, which is 2%. So you will watch our film, The Perfect House, on Facebook October 1st. 100 of your friends now have the status update that they get to see and visibly notice. If 2 of those people watch the film, now we've gone from 1 to 2, making us 3 viewers, and those 2 people now advertise on their Facebook pages to 100 each. So that makes 200 people. Now if 2% of those people watch the film, now you're up to 4. And that's just starting with one single viewer.
Right.
So the way...
This could all be accidental, actually. This could be without any advertising. This could actually just happen without, like, the Facebook post is the only advertising done.
One of the things they do is you can set the number of free views. Like, if we don't do any advertising between now and October 1st, we can set the free views as high as 1,000. So the first 1,000 people that watch the movie get to see the movie for free. But those 1,000 people will be putting it on their Facebook pages, and now 100,000 people will have seen the movie because you let 1,000 people see it for free. And so on, and it just pyramids out, as long as people like the movie and they keep watching it. So where that comes in is one of the other features that they've added in is to help encourage multiple viewings. You can do like group audience views, where, say, the Saturday after The Perfect House is released on Facebook, at Saturday at 1 o'clock, you can watch a screening online on your Facebook page that'll be attended by Felissa Rose in a chat room. So now you and everybody else that's a big Felissa Rose fan can watch the movie and talk in a chat room to Felissa Rose while you're watching the movie on your computer.
It's live DVD commentary.
Oh, yeah.
With the people involved in the movie. It's pretty sweet.
And taking it to that level with the DVD, I'm sure you can set up something with a webcam or whatever, and now the person's right there talking to you.
Yeah.
So you can do those type of things. The week after, you can have Jonathan Tiersten. The week after that, you could have the writer. And it just encourages people to watch the movie again. And if you're a big fan and you want film knowledge, for $5, why wouldn't you watch the movie again and dissect it with the person right there that can tell you all the things you're asking?
Yeah.
So there's a huge opportunity for reviews. And one of the other things that factors into the equation is our friends, family, the people directly associated and invested in the success of this film equal up to about 60 people. Those 60 people have 100,000 friends on Facebook. We have direct access to 100,000 people without even trying, before we even start advertising. So now, what's your follow-up question, Will, is probably, what's the money numbers? Tell me what the money numbers are. What's the action that's
Show me the money.
What's the action that's going to come my way on
Show
this?
me the money.
The rental rates you can set anywhere from $1 to $5. Obviously, if you make it $1 for a feature film, you're probably going to have a ton of people watching it and that. But, I mean, when people are paying $13, $14 for a movie ticket, watching it on Facebook or a tablet or their phone or anything like that for $5 is a bargain. Because if you really want to, and hell, I would, and I encourage you to, hook it up to your TV, your big screen TV, get 10, 15 people over and watch the fucking movie for $5. One person, 10 people, you can't beat that.
Yeah. It's like pay-per-view when you have all your buddies over to watch UFC or something.
Have everybody throw a quarter in when they show up at your house. I don't give a rat's ass.
Make them bring lots of beer.
Dude, as long as you post it on Facebook, charge admission. I don't give a shit. But the rental rate will be $5 per video.
What does that $5 go to?
That goes to us and Flick Launch. We get $3.50 from every video sold, Will. After you take out advertising, putting money back into advertising and PayPal fees.
How is that possible? That's over 50%.
Oh, dude, it's better than iTunes. It's better than Amazon. It's better than all of them. That $3.50, you figure you put a little bit of it back into advertising, and PayPal takes out their fees for the transfer. So you're probably going to get $3 per view after everything's all said and done.
Still better than 50%.
So let's say, hypothetically, your film budget was $150,000. That means you only need 50,000 views to break even. If you have 1,000 initial free views, within 3 or 4 levels of people watching the film, you'll be broken even without even advertising. So with the potential to break even without even advertising, and you toss in the fact we're not even addressing DVD rights, foreign or domestic yet, just simply the Facebook, why in the world wouldn't you put money into advertising to make even more money, expand the awareness? Because that just, the more you start with, the faster it grows and makes money.
You could make like several $100,000 in advertising back in theoretically overnight.
Yeah, oh, exactly. And if we only need 50,000 people to break even on a $150,000 movie, we've already established that we have direct access to 100,000 people. So without even advertising, we've got more than enough contacts to turn a profit. You toss in advertising into that, and now you're putting dynamite on a bonfire.
Right.
It can just explode.
Right.
But here comes the major problem. Why doesn't everybody do this? Why doesn't independent filmmakers market their film and advertise it themselves? Number one, Facebook didn't exist. Number two, how do you sustain a 90-day marketing campaign that'll gain everybody's attention and people will actually be moved by your marketing over 90 days without millions of dollars?
Yeah, I think the biggest problem and the biggest hurdle is just getting people to realize that it exists and it is a viable thing. Nobody's going to try it until somebody else does it first and succeeds. So it's at that point right now. That's
what we're positioning ourselves to do. And back to the major problem, advertising and sustaining a 90-day marketing plan, we solved that problem right off the get-go. We solved that problem with our six-city mini tour. I mean, we learned the lessons there and evolved that process to what the marketing plan is now. And in a future episode, I'm sure we'll get into the details of the marketing plan. But the gist of it is a 30-day tour giving away free screenings with a big bus on the side of it that has a banner promoting the advertising. Between that and a lot of the other things in the marketing campaign and a publicist, we've put together a $200,000 marketing plan that, extremely conservative, estimates it'll have more than 60 million impressions.
Yeah, and that campaign figures in a big bus wrapped with a Perfect House logo and information. Going across the country for a couple months with something like that.
And a publicist in your back pocket, everywhere you go, you're going to have human interest articles, radio stations wanting to interview you. Every nighttime drive time DJ is going to want to know how the tour's going, how the trip around the country's going.
Yeah.
And for $200,000, You can have a multi-million-dollar marketing plan that basically self-runs itself because you're creating such content and creating such a spectacle that people are going to want to cover this for free.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to have to pay for commercial spots. You're not going to have to pay for all these extra things that the studios normally have to do because they're trying to repackage a piece of shit.
So a lot of your calculations probably don't even take into consideration the numbers that you would get from that.
Well, the intangibles, there's no way we can figure it.
Unquantifiable number.
The 60 million impressions is a hard factual based number that is highly conservative and doesn't take into account anything a publicist would bring to the table while helping us promote the tour.
Yeah, if you had numbers, the 0.16% could be plugged in once again, but until you have numbers.
So
1.6%.
projecting this out, Will, we used an ultra conservative response rate off this tour. The 60 million impressions, if only 0.16% of those people watch the film when it first comes out, that's 100,000 views initially. 0.16% gives us 100,000 views. That's not even counting the 100,000 people we already have direct access to. So a 0.16 response rate gives you $300,000. Your 200,000 plus your 150 for a budget. Now you're almost broken even before the second level even watches the film.
Yeah, and this could all be within a couple days.
Yeah, instantly.
Yeah.
That and the availability of this is so hard to comprehend because Facebook is available to everyone around the world. Mm-hmm. Instantly, our film has a worldwide release. And with the promotion and advertising, creating a reality-style atmosphere that people have been following for months with a tour and that, for $200,000, you're basically, it's just free money. The more you put into it, the more that comes back.
Mm-hmm. It's just finding that investment is the tough part.
Yeah, it's
because it's such an unheard of game plan. It's all brand new. Nobody really wants to hear about it.
The game plan's so brand new, but the facts and figures that base it prove that there is zero risk involved. Because after all of this is all said and done, we still can sell the DVD rights to foreign markets and domestic markets. If we do it now, they're gonna low bottom us because we're nobodies. We got no track record. We got no background. We put in a tour and a plan to advertise and promote the film before the distribution company even gets a hold of it, and then go ahead and release it to a couple 100,000 initial views in October alone.
You'll have their attention then.
Yeah. Now that $300,000-$400,000 distribution offer suddenly becomes $3-4 million because there's a marketing campaign in it, and it's proven that we don't really need you. You're more of a convenience at this point. And the whole leverage game is completely flipped and reversed.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things going for it. It's just finding the right channel to get it to where it belongs. It's
the easiest way to explain it is for $200,000, we have the potential to give our film a worldwide release that is much bigger than a theatrical release. A theatrical release is only on 3,000 theaters. A worldwide theatrical release, or when Paranormal Activity was released mainstream, it was only released to 3,100 theaters. Ours is going to be released to 700 million theaters.
Right here.
Boom.
Right here. Computators. Yeah, it's a great way to go, and it's obviously the way to go. I got rid of all my DVDs. I got rid of all my CDs. It's like everything's gonna be digital. You don't need to be carrying this shit around. You don't need to go to the movie theater. It works for that too. You can go to the movie theater if you want to see it big and loud, of course, and eat popcorn. But most people don't seem to want to do it anymore. They want to watch stuff on the computer.
The biggest skeptic, oh dude, that's all we do is watch everything on the computers now. The biggest skeptic and the response that we get from the people that, like, it's unbelievable, the people with money that don't want to buy into it. Like, they look for a reason. Like, I'm sorry, but a business plan with no risk, there's something wrong with that. Okay, I'm sure everyone's grew up with the analogy, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. But every once in a while, there's something that was put together and sound enough that it really is that good. Paranormal Activity was that case when Paramount picked it up. It became that good. The quality wasn't, but because of who was involved, it became that good. There was no longer a risk in it. They had a $20,000 movie. Whatever they put into it was pure profit. And we're looking to do the same thing. But the key to the whole thing, Will, is the film has to be good. People have to like it, and they have to talk about it. So every skeptical, well, what if people don't like it? What if people don't watch it? Okay, that's a very valuable concern, except for one simple fact. We already tested that theory. We already took it to 6 cities with 0 advertising, and every single person that watched it liked it. Every single critic that's reviewed the film has liked it. What do these people do after they like something? They tell everybody. Yeah. So even if only 10 or 20 people or the couple hundred people that saw on the tour tell people because they liked it, that's enough to spark the storm that can make millions. And then all of a sudden, overnight, we become a viable studio. We can make your movie, we can make my movie, we can make Klinger's movie. We can bankroll our own films, and we don't have to spend all our days looking for investors. We don't have to spend all our days looking for a producer that's connected.
At that point, people come to you.
Yeah. Right? Overnight, we become our own studio capable of doing and funding the films that we want.
Yeah. Yeah, and release every single one on the computer.
Oh, yeah.
Or the theater if they come to us with that. But
that's the other brilliance behind the tour and the marketing plan. Is going around the entire country. That's not only building a fan base for that film, that's building a fan base for each of us individually and our future careers.
Exactly.
Once that fan base is built, we can release everything directly to the fans at half the cost that they can get it from somewhere else.
Exactly.
Sure, our movie's good enough to be in the theaters, but why do we want to charge you $13 for it to be in the theater when I can charge you $5? You can have it instantly and watch it wherever the hell you want and tell your friends about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's definitely, obviously, the way it's going.
There's just has to be that one that shows if you do it right and you have a quality enough product, the people are going to watch it.
Yep. The Perfect House is poised to be that one.
Whether somebody picks up the ball and runs with it and gives us the $200,000 for the tour or not, the industry cannot stop what we're doing. They cannot stop this train. If it takes off a little slower because we have to do it all for free and underground, so be it. We'll turn a profit that much faster. But the throwing the dynamite on a bonfire is the fire's already burning. People already like it. Mm-hmm. Now it's just exposure. Yeah. Every dollar you spend in exposure is $10 coming back to you.
All we have to do is show it to a few more people around and make people aware of it, and should have the same exact experience we've had in Pennsylvania, New York State, and New Jersey. Well, maybe not New Jersey.
But the thing is, when all those people at Rutgers start seeing it on their Facebook page popping up and that, they'll pay the $5 to see it. Oh, you had a chance 4 months, it'd be 7-8 months ago by that point, to see it for free months ago and tell everybody how cool you were. But now, like everyone else, you're gonna pay extra, or you're gonna pay to watch it. And if I have my own way, I'll put some little server proxy in there that charges an extra $2 for Rutgers students.
That's not a bad idea. It's probably a good place to break this off too.
So I guess we got a little wrap up GFY to Rutgers in there.
Yeah, I had to throw that in. The Hollywood Corner this week, we broke down the numbers for you. So
Will, do you
stand by for Perfect House going global.
Do you have any audience follow up questions to the premise?
No, I'm unable to connect to the internet, so I don't know what they're saying. But
grill me, Will. Grill me for the fan.
And anybody who's out there who's curious is probably going to want to know how fast can this happen? How fast do you see this going if you were to get the money right now?
We actually do have responses. Brad Sharping wrote in that $5 he would pay to watch the film because he knows me and that, but he wouldn't pay $5 without knowing a lot about the film. Well, good thing there's a lot of things to check on about the film. Where people would be going to watch the film is right on Facebook. So before they watch the film, they can see all the content. They can watch our blood wrestling. They can watch the trailers. They can watch the fan confessionals. They can read critics' reviews, all right here on our Facebook page. People can research the movie and get involved in it before they ever pay that $5 price. But so he said he'd be more apt to pay $3 to $4 for a film without too much info. Well, after the first month's release of that, we can adjust the prices anytime we want. So the initial release, it's like a new release film. When it's out there, after a while, it drops down a couple dollars and goes to like the cheap theaters. So it's the same principle. And let's be honest, the movies people go to watch, they don't really know much about anyway. All they see is a fucking trailer. You're gonna see the same shit for our film, except you're gonna be able to find out about the filmmakers, the cast, the crew, everything. If somebody wants to and seeing the film is based on what they know about it and that, they're not going to pay $5 for a film they don't know anything about. The opportunity and the information is out there if you have any interest in the film to learn and discover all those things before you decide if it's worth your $5. So I have no concerns that a $5 fee would prohibit people from watching a good movie. Because let's be honest, if Nightmare on Elm Street was released and it was only $5 to watch it, everyone's going to go see it. They didn't know about that at the time, and I'd almost guarantee tickets probably were around $5 when Nightmare on Elm Street was released in the theaters. It's the same fucking thing. Except nobody knew who Wes Craven was until after that movie came out. But they still went to see it.
Yeah.
And Brad followed that up with, how can you not like Logan's Run? I believe he's referring to your comments last week, Will, about where you shit on Logan's Run.
I wouldn't say I shit on it. Just it's severely dated.
I've yet to get a chance to watch this because Netflix seems to be in my head with every movie that I would like to watch instantly, no matter how old it is. Not happening.
Can't do it.
Even Real Geniuses, Will, they don't have on instant. What the fuck?
We should probably start a tally out there someplace by the TV. So every time you go to find one that's not on there, you tally. You'd have a full tally by now, probably.
Any movie in your queue that is not a award-winning Academy Award high-interest film that's older than 2000 should be on fucking instant. Just put it on there.
They're working on it.
So that's a GFY to Netflix too. Just throwing them out here today. What's our time looking like, Will? Here
we're over 40 minutes.
Ooh. Any last follow-up questions for the plan?
No. I understand it. So hopefully anybody curious will get a hold of us with any questions about it.
Our Gratcast poll question of the week will be, do you have any follow-up questions on the Facebook financials discussed in this week's Gratcast?
Or any information leading to an investor.
Yeah, that is one thing we should say is now that we're not hiding it anymore and we're straight up owning it. We are looking for, in fact, $200,000 to advertise, promote, release the film, hire a publicist, all these type of things. If you know of anyone that this is a business opportunity that would be right up their alley, we have the detailed business plans. We have the detailed marketing plan that we'll discuss probably next week. And we'd be more than happy to sit down and have them ask us any skeptical question under the world. Like, I want somebody to grill me because this holds up under pressure. Like, ask me any stupid question, any ridiculous question you have. The whole premise holds up under pressure. I want someone to tear it apart and analyze it.
I thought we were going to get that the other weekend, but even people who or business investors don't really have questions about it. It seems like they just don't want to.
You have to have your mind open to an opportunity in order to see the value in it and ask questions in it. Like, even if your inner instincts are leaning towards no or not really, you still have to have some part of you that's interested in the opportunity for you to give enough give and take.
It appears that investors work on a more personal connection basis than they do on just numbers alone.
Bottom line is,
there's got to be something about it because nobody's really.
If you can help us put the $200,000 advertising funding in place, we will make you a producer on the film, and you will get a cut of the profits when the film is released on October 1st. So it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for anybody, not just somebody in the entertainment industry. If you know somebody that has a lot of money, and you'd like to make them love you for the rest of their lives for all the money you made them by giving them this opportunity.
So this is a question I have then for you. I'm an investor. Why should I trust you with my big money?
Because I think we've already proven that we're trustworthy. I mean, when we started this out, the hardest part about getting money from people was nobody had any proof or anything to go on that we could actually do what we said we could do. Like, listen, we want your money because we can make a great horror film. We can make a product that people will want to see and purchase. We're not offering up that deal anymore. People have already, the horror movie already exists. People can already see that these people had no background, no experience, and they put together a viable product, and they put it together well, and they put it together quickly. These people obviously know how to handle their business. They obviously feel an enormous amount of responsibility, and they are obviously determined and passionate about it. So our intangibles, I think, by what we've already accomplished with this film, speak for themselves.
So it's getting people to understand that probably is the hurdle.
Oh, I think at this point, watching the film or reading anything about the film
should be enough.
Yeah, it really should be enough.
Should be.
Like, we have a physical commodity in our hands that is marketable, and people have already proven that they like it and can't wait to see it again and again. What more are you looking for out of a business opportunity? You're not investing in a product or a prototype that has to be developed, created, built. A business has to be created from scratch and put into place. You're at the end of the train here, tossing in some money to immediately get a lot of money back.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you're looking for if you're serious about using your money to make more money.
Okay, that's the only question I can come up with is the confidence question, I guess.
I think any smart business person that has achieved the level where they have enough money to invest in something like this should be a good judge of character on people. And if they sat down, met with us, and tore the whole thing apart and saw the film, I don't understand how you walk out of the room and not realize you should be kissing our ass because you're one of the luckiest people in the world to have this opportunity fall into your lap.
It's a good way to look at it. But I mean, you're not far from the truth.
The analogy I've been using is if somehow, some way, a trainer came to you and said, listen, I drugged up 11 of the 12 horses for the Kentucky Derby. Horse number 12 that doesn't have the drugs is going to run like a bat out of hell compared to the other 11 horses. It's a fixed race. There's nothing in this world that can stop it from not being a fixed race. Put everything you can on horse number 12. I look at it the same way as that. Who the fuck if you knew that horse number 12 was going to win the Kentucky Derby no matter what happened in this world, who would you tell about it? It's like getting that sports almanac book in Back to the Future.
I gotcha. But finding that person.
Yes. Brad brought up a great idea, is that we should have a private screening for potential investors, let the film speak for itself. We've tried that. Many times, but
getting people out of their houses is not that easy.
There's one particular young Hollywood silver spoon that we know that his family's rich, has tons of money. He fancies himself a independent investor of real estate and everything else, and he's been around. He came to Grat Fest. Couldn't be bothered to stay long enough for the screening so he could actually see the movie. He's looked over the business plan, the marketing plan. He's told us all these rich people he knows, all the people in the industry that would love an opportunity like this. But because he's a silver spoon, whether he jumps on board or doesn't jump on board, he's always going to be rich. He's never going to have to work for his money, and his family's always going to take care of him. So he has zero motivation to actually act like a responsible adult and show up and watch the movie like he's promised he would the last 15 times. And that problem is a reoccurring theme in this town, where there's so many people looking for projects or money for their own projects that they can't get out of that tunnel vision long enough to realize if we all work together to find investors for advertising for the next 4 months, we could all fund our own movies in October. Because if you're looking for several $100,000 for your independent film, right now you're looking for it, you're not going to find it between now and October. But if you know somebody that'll put up money on a finished product, you'll make them more money between now and October than you need for your film. And I guarantee it, after you take their $200,000 and turn it into quite a bit of money, they're going to invest in your next project because they're still ahead.
These guys did it once. Let's do it again.
So, Brad, to answer your question, the reason is because people can't be bothered to sit the fuck in the seat and do it. No matter how great the plan is in that, pitching to people is the problem we're having.
Yeah.
Getting in touch with, I don't know a lot of rich people. I really don't. It took everything we could to get the money that we did to make the perfect house. I was hoping that once the movie was finished and it had a high production value, a high marketability, and a high profitability, that people I don't know with money would be easier to pitch to or would give us the time of day.
Not so much.
It's not so much that they're not. We don't know them to ask them. So we need opportunities and help from outside sources.
Yeah, the getting people like Brad says, it sounds like it's really easy, but people you can set up a screening and 24 people will say yes, they'll be there. How many people will show up?
Out of people that'll say they'll come, I'd say if you get 20% response rate out of people that tell you they'll come to something, you're doing pretty good.
20% sounds good. Yeah. So out of those 24 people, you're getting 4 maybe.
There's plenty of people that I've tried that exact thing. Let's sit them down and let the film speak for itself. There's somebody from the Gratwick family that grew up in Gratwick, knows all of the Gratwick people, moved to San Diego, is in marketing and advertising, is connected and part of now a Silver Spoon wealthy family, and like, dude, I'll drive to San Diego, buy you lunch that I can't afford to buy you, and show you the movie and let the movie speak for itself. Oh yeah, dude, that's awesome. I'd love to do that. Okay, when would you like us to come down? Fucking crickets. That's all you get.
It's frustrating, but it's all part of the doors you have to keep knocking on, I guess.
Which is why we're expanding the doors we can reach by putting this opportunity out there to our audience, to our fans, everybody. This is an us project. It always has been. You want to go from listener to producer overnight? Here's your opportunity.
Yeah.
There's no other way to put it than that.
The opportunity is bare bones. The opportunity is the perfect house. We've got this horror film that's gonna sell. End of story. How well it sells, how good it does right now depends on the people involved.
One of the ways, if we can't get one of our potential investors, we'll wrap up with this because it's something we forgot to promote, is our new lines of clothing. We have the Gratcast t-shirts. We have Perfect House t-shirts. If you go on the storefront, first thing Monday, you'll see all our new t-shirts, scripts. We're adding stuff.
Screensavers.
Monday, there's going to be at least 4 different shirt designs that'll be added into the storefront. The goal is to sell 20,000 shirts to raise that $200,000 budget. So that's the next opportunity. If we can't find
that, we'll be making ourselves right out here in the living room, or probably out in the backyard or something.
This was a handmade shirt, and it's fantastic.
You look good in that shirt.
It was made for me, Will.
Dude.
Literally.
Dude, you look good.
But those are the numbers. If you want to help the cause, buy a $10 t-shirt and wear it until it wears out, and buy another one.
Like we tried to do with our tour shirts.
Yeah. So, Gratcast episode 19 in the books. Check out the storefront first thing Monday.
Happy Father's Day one more time.
Look for the next episode of the Tadadcast Friday.
Yeah.
And if you haven't listened to this past week's, it's available now on the Gratcast channel. Just go on Gratcast on Facebook, and you can listen to this past week's Tadadcast.
Look for the inaugural Optimus advertising short.
Yes.
On the Facebook page, either the Gratcast page or it might be on the Perfect House page too. It's
on,
definitely on the Gratcast page on Facebook.
Yep, it's all over. That's out there. The Blood Wrestling is out there.
Blood Wrestling videos out there, which you can find on the Perfect House page. And
soon enough, later today, Gratcast will be out there.
Gratcast will be up as well.
All right.
Week's
over.
See ya.